That one email you still haven't replied to. It's been sitting there for 6 days. You don't think about it constantly, but it pops up at random moments, uninvited. A half-finished grocery list, an unchecked box on your to-do app, a text you meant to send back. None of these are urgent. None of them are even that important. But your brain won't let them go. There's a reason for that. And it was discovered completely by accident in a Berlin cafe in the 1920s. A psychologist named Kurt Lewin was sitting with his students, watching their waiter work. The waiter was juggling an enormous number of orders, complex ones, multiple tables at once. He never wrote anything down, and he never got a single order wrong. Lewin was impressed enough to ask the waiter to repeat an order back after the bill had already been paid. The waiter blinked. He had no idea what Lewin was talking about. The second the bill was settled, the entire order had vanished from his memory. Completely. One of Lewin's students, Bluma Zeigarnik, couldn't stop thinking about what she'd just seen. She took it back to the lab and ran a series of experiments to test it properly. Participants were given a set of simple tasks: puzzles, basic arithmetic, small assembly tasks. Half the tasks they were allowed to finish. The other half, they were interrupted partway through. Later, she asked everyone to recall as many of the tasks as they could remember. The interrupted tasks were remembered roughly twice as often as the completed ones. This became known as the Zeigarnik effect. And it comes down to one simple idea. Your brain treats an unfinished task as an open loop. A completed task gets filed away, closed, done. No reason to keep thinking about it. But an unfinished one stays active, sitting in working memory, quietly demanding attention. It's not that you're choosing to think about it. The loop is what's doing the choosing. This is why a cliffhanger works on you, even when you know exactly what a cliffhanger is. The show ends mid-scene. The loop stays open, and suddenly, one more episode doesn't feel optional. It's the same reason a notification badge feels almost uncomfortable to leave sitting there. That small red number isn't just information. It's an open loop rendered in pixels. Every unread message is a tiny task your brain has quietly filed as unfinished business. Streaming platforms know this. Social apps know this. The autoplay countdown isn't an accident. It's a deliberately engineered open loop, timed to fire right when your attention starts to drift. Every algorithmic feed works the same way. There's always one more post. The loop never actually closes. You can scroll for an hour and never once feel like you've finished anything. Because you haven't. There was never a finish line built into the design in the first place. But here's the part that's actually useful. You can use this effect on yourself, on purpose. If an unfinished task is what creates the nagging tension, you don't always need to finish it. You just need your brain to register it as handled. Writing a task down, even just a rough plan for it, seems to do exactly that. Researchers found that simply making a specific plan reduced the intrusive thoughts almost as much as finishing the task itself. Your brain doesn't seem to fully distinguish between this is done and this has a clear plan now. Either one is apparently enough to quiet the open loop, which is the entire logic behind the brain dump productivity trick. Write
every half-finished thought down on paper. Not to organize it, just to close the loop.
It's not really about the list. It's about giving your brain permission to stop holding on to it.
Of course, the tasks you don't have a plan for are the ones that linger the longest.
The argument you didn't get to finish. The apology you meant to send, but never quite did. Those stay open far longer than any grocery list ever will. Because there's no simple plan that resolves them. No neat checkbox to close the loop with. So the tension just sits there. Sometimes for years. Which might explain why some memories from decades ago still feel oddly unfinished. Not because they were important, but because they were never actually closed. So here's a genuinely useful question to ask yourself. Next time something keeps resurfacing in your head, uninvited, for no clear reason, ask what loop it actually belongs to. Is it something you can finish, or at least make a real plan for? Or is it something that's just going to sit there, open, until you decide to consciously close it? Your brain isn't malfunctioning by bringing it back up. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do, reminding you that something's still unresolved. The question was never really about that email or that grocery list. It's about which loops you're going to close and which ones you're going to carry around, left open, on purpose.